Hi, it's Sylvester, and I haven't been to church in a while. And the biggest reason why I haven't been to church in a while is because I know the second I go back, I'm going to be judged, I'm going to be nagged, I'm going to be guilted, I'm going to be shamed. At least five different people are going to come up to me and be like, why haven't you been at church? Where have you been? Why haven't you been at church? And I know that sounds harmless. It seems like I'm getting worked up for no reason here, but I really don't like being judged and I really don't like being nagged. And that is what's going on here. These people aren't asking why I wasn't at church because they're genuinely interested in hearing about my life and what's been going on and whether I had something more important going on Sunday or something. They're asking because what they're trying to say is I'm judging you because you didn't come to church. I'm judging you because you haven't been to church in a while. You should really come to church every week. And I'm going to judge you really hard if you don't. You know? And like, even if they were asking, if they were just genuinely curious as to what I was doing for like why I wasn't there, is that any of their business? Is what I do with my life any of your freaking business? The answer? No, it's not. If I choose to not go to church one Sunday, or a couple Sundays, or whatever, if I'm not at church, that is my choice. I am doing what I want with my life and my body, and maybe the answer is I just didn't want to go. Maybe the answer is that I have really bad depression and sometimes it's really hard to get out of bed in the morning. Maybe the answer is because if I went to church, I'd be judged by a million different people for the fact that I didn't go to church the week before. Maybe there are many reasons, but you don't really care what those reasons are. You're not really asking because no matter what my answer is, your answer, you're just going to be judging me. You're just going to be judging me for not having been at church. And I hate that. Like, more people would go to church if they knew they weren't going to be judged and nagged and guilted for missing a week of church. Like if I don't go to church for a month and then suddenly I show up again, it's fine for you to be like, "Hey, I've missed you." That's fine. That's nice. That's harmless. Or like, "Hey, it's good to see you. I'm glad you came." That's nice. That's fine. That's harmless. But asking where I've been, why I haven't been at church, that's intrusive. That's guilting me. That's nagging me. It's you're judging me because I wasn't at church. And so like I would go to church more often if I knew that it was okay for me to miss a week or two and not be judged when I returned. Like I just don't like being judged. I don't like being nagged, and it is none of your fucking business what I'm doing on Sundays. But when these people ask, like I feel so judged, I don't want to just tell them like, "Well, I was too depressed to get out of bed," because I don't feel like people would understand that. I feel like people would just think I'm being whiny or I'm being lazy or I'm just being entitled or like whatever. Like I don't feel like people would really understand that. And so I can't just say, "Well, I didn't feel like going," because then they judge me extra hard and be like, "Oh, you didn't feel like coming?" Like they probably wouldn't say anything. They wouldn't be outright rude to my face because they're Christians and Christians can only be passive aggressive. They can't actually just be aggressive. They have to be passive aggressive, which drives me fucking crazy. Again, it's like, "Where were you? I really missed you." Like that's passive aggression. That is passive aggression. You are, because what you want to be saying is, "You really should have been at church, and I'm judging you really hard for the fact that you weren't." Like, but they're too nice to just say that, so they act like they're concerned, and they act like they really want to know where you were. And so I've been lying to people. I know God wouldn't approve of that, but I don't know what to tell these people, so I say like, "Oh, my mom's been coming to visit me on Sundays." And they'll be like, "Oh, okay," but I could still see the judgment in their eyes, and I could still tell that that's not a good enough excuse for them. In their heads, they're thinking, "Isn't church more important than your mom, though? Isn't church more important than," like if I told them, sometimes it's hard for me to get out of bed because I suffer with depression. They'd be thinking like, "Well, isn't God more important than your depression?" Like they're just so... Christians are so freaking judgmental. It drives me up the wall. It drives me crazy. Oh my God. And it's like, it makes me regret ever having gone to church. And like, I feel bad saying that because a lot of the people I go to church with have been really nice to me and they've given me stuff and they've been very charitable and like, I should be more grateful. I should be more appreciative. But that's why I feel so guilty when I don't go to church. And then they have the audacity to like guilt me when I go back to church. It's like, I already feel bad. You don't need to try to make me feel bad for not going to church. I already feel bad, okay? Like, stop. Stop. Like, I'm not even fucking Christian. For fuck's sakes. I just wanted to be part of a community. Like, that's why I started going to church. That's why I started hanging out at church. I mean, the real reason I started going to church is because they have free meals and I'm in poverty and I like food. And so I started going to this coffee and snacks thing at a church, and then they kind of like guilted me into going to church on Sundays. And then once I started going on Sundays, they started guilting me if I didn't show up. And so I just like kept going because I felt too guilty to stop going. And it's like, I don't even believe in God. Not Christian God, at least. Like, I'm more into Buddhism and Wicca and paganism than I am Christianity. And this is partially why, because Christians are so freaking judgmental. Let people miss church. It's fine. People have lives. People suffer with mental illnesses. People have, maybe my mom, like, maybe my mom would be visiting on Sundays. Like, is that still so bad? Like, I feel bad for lying to these people and using my mom as an excuse because like my mom has not been visiting on Sundays. And so if you're somebody I go to church with, you're probably like judging me even harder because not only did I not show up for church, but I lied to you about why I wasn't showing up to church. And so now it's just more judgment. Like, that's what I need in life, is to be judged harder by more people. Like, just stop judging me. Stop judging me. Please, stop guilting me. Stop nagging me. If I feel like going to church, I'll go to church. If I want to go to church, I'll go to church. And I'd be a lot more likely to want to go to church if I knew I wasn't going to be judged for not going to church. You know, like, if I show up to church, you should just be grateful that I'm there instead of guilting me for the times when I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not even fucking Christian. I'm not even Christian. That's all. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Stay frosty. Bye.